Okay. So I'm just going to say this very, very matter of factly. And I know that this information is not for everyone. I personally and I honestly, legitimately don't care. I'm honest. I don't care. I know that this is going to help enough people. I know that I'm speaking to someone, and I'm looking for that someone. So, quick little disclaimer, because although I believe and I have um, full intent, full belief with what I'm getting ready to share, I know it's a little bit out there. So I'm asking you to have a little bit of an open mind, but at the end of the day, I promise you, I don't need that. I don't care if you believe me or not. I'm just going to say that. So, the way we began kind of these lessons, if you will, was Miss Andrea would take me to the backyard, and we would sit with like her dog and her cat. And at first, I was very curious. I had all these questions, and I wanted to know kind of like, where did this come from? How did this begin? You also have to keep in mind, I was very skeptical. So I wasn't going, even though I went with my feelings, and that's going to come up a little bit later. So I kind of went with my gut, and something told me that there was something here, something that I had to investigate. But at the same time, I wasn't going to give her too much, if you know what I mean. Like, I needed something that proved that, something tangible, something as evidence, if you will. And that came very quickly. And I'll tell you, this is how it happened. So, again, bear with me. So, I remember one time I was petting her cat, Kara. Kara had a large lump, it felt like, kind of missing, like there was just this like indent missing on one of her back legs. It was an injury that I could feel. And Miss Andrea told me that Kara had been attacked by a raccoon. And I was like, really? And she said, yeah. She said it happened actually while she was nursing her first litter. And she said it's actually not something that pleasant to talk about. And I was like, really? I said, okay. And we went upstairs, and she told me that when she first got Kara, and that when she first started with animal communication, she said that she was sitting with Kara in the kitchen. Kara was sitting in a chair, and Miss Andrea was on the other side, and that she started to get these visuals. She said that Kara would send her visuals that mapped out to a story about her previous life. So I guess Miss Andrea had adopted her when she was like 1 or 2 years old, so she wasn't a kitten, and she had a life before. And I guess Miss Andrea knew that she was feral. She had been living, I guess, like underneath a building. And she had a litter of kittens, at least one that she had lost, that I guess had been eaten by raccoons. And Miss Andrea said that what part of the visuals that she had sent her, that Kara had sent her, was, I guess, either her partner cat, or a cat that they had like kind of lived together, that had been hit in the middle of the street and was lying in the road. So again, at this point, I'm purely going off of what Miss Andrea is telling me. I really don't know whether I'm going to believe her or not. I'm just letting this woman talk, right? And then, so she's telling me this story, that the story that the cat apparently told her. And she said that at the end of it, Kara told her, I never want to speak about this ever again. So again, I was like, okay. And in my head, I'm thinking, I asked for this, right? This is what I asked for. But I'm not just going to take this at face value. So, Miss Andrea, I watched the house again. It wasn't for like a long vacation. I want to say it was just for like a weekend. But bottom line is, I had the opportunity to talk to the animals by myself, right? Without them present. And I thought, this is going to be my opportunity. Excuse me. This is going to be my chance to see if this is real or not. So I found a time when like Una was outside and like when the inside of the house was like kind of quiet and kind of calm, because again, Miss Andrea lived downstairs and Miss Helm lived upstairs. And I started quietly petting the cat, Kara, and kind of getting in the mode, in the zone of what Miss Andrea told me, the little steps that she would take when she would prepare, like, to communicate with, how she would get herself in the zone to receive messages, I should maybe say, communicate with animals. Which Miss Andrea told me that she heard words, that she heard actual words. I'm not here to say one way or the other. I have had people tell me that it's more common that they get pictures, that they get sent images, more like telepathy. I will talk more about this, but I'm more what they call clairsentient. So I feel things, and apparently that's the rarest form of I don't know if it falls under the category of clairvoyance, but anyway, I'm getting there. So anyway, I'm sitting there petting the cat, and I told myself, I said, this is when I'm gonna get my chance to see if this is BS or not. And so I very quietly said, Kara, I said, show me your kittens. She got so pissed off. She jumped up, she looked at me, and she scratched me. And it all happened so quickly, immediately. Right when I said the part about show me your kittens, she reacted, like she drew back and she hissed. And I have never in my life been more convinced that this cat knew what I was talking about. And I was like, holy shit, oh my God, she was right. Like, the cat understood what I said. So Miss Andrea came back a day or two later, and I said, Miss Andrea, I said, I have something to tell you. I said, I have to be honest. I said, I did a little experiment. I said, I wasn't totally believing. I said I kind of needed something for myself, and so I asked Kara to show me her kittens, and she got real. And so as soon as I said that, her eyes got really big, and she was like, "Oh my God!" She's like, "What happened?" I said, "Well, she got really upset at me, and she scratched me." And she asked if I was okay. She asked to see the scratch. Everything was fine. Nothing to be worried about. But that kind of took our relationship to the next level, Miss Andrea's and mine. I will tell you what her response was in the next part, but this kind of put us somewhat on an even playing ground. And she wasn't upset. Which she had every right to be, because I was technically like messing with her cat. But I'll tell you kind of where the relationship went after this, because things, again, believe it or not, I have no reason to lie, but things get really crazy in a good way after this.